It was a night so quiet that even the wind seemed hesitant to disturb the silence. Hollow Creek, a forgotten village buried deep in the forest, had long been abandoned by its residents. Only ruins remained, collapsed houses, a broken chapel, and a bridge that swayed weakly above a dark stream. Nobody dared to step inside Hollow Creek any more, at least not after the disappearances. Ethan, however, didn't believe in ghost stories. He was a journalist chasing after myths and folklore, looking for truths hidden within old legends. When he heard about Hollow Creek, he saw an opportunity to uncover something unique. With a flashlight, a recorder, and a notebook, he entered the heart of the village at midnight. The moment he stepped onto the cracked path, the air grew heavier. The woods around him whispered, as though thousands of voices were speaking all at once. He told himself it was just the wind, but the deeper he walked, the louder the whispers became. Ethan approached the ruined chapel. Its doors were rotten, covered in strange claw marks. When he pushed one open, a wave of damp, suffocating air rushed out. Inside, the chapel smelled of mildew and decay. Dusty pews stood broken, and at the altar lay a book, untouched by time. Curiosity overwhelmed his fear. He opened the book and realized it wasn't written in any language he recognized. The symbols twisted on the page as though alive. Then the whispers grew distinct, clear words spoken directly into his ears. "Why did you open it?" Ethan froze. The voice came from nowhere, yet it felt as though someone stood behind him. He turned sharply, but the chapel was empty. His flashlight flickered. Suddenly, the pews creaked, though no one sat in them. One by one, faint silhouettes began to appear. Shadowy figures, their faces blurred, their mouths moving in unison. Their chant echoed through the chapel, deep and dreadful. "Join us!" Ethan stumbled back, clutching his recorder, which now emitted static even though it wasn't turned on. The shadows grew clearer, stepping toward him. Their eyes, hollow sockets dripping darkness, locked on him. He bolted out of the chapel, panting. But the village had changed. The path he had entered through was gone. The houses stood tall now, not in ruins, but in perfect condition. Lights flickered behind the windows, and laughter echoed from inside, laughter that was not human. Terrified, Ethan ran across the bridge, but halfway through, the water below began to churn violently. Hands, pale, skeletal hands, shot out from the stream, grabbing at his legs. He kicked free, falling onto the wooden planks, only to hear the whispers again, "You are ours now." The village was alive, reshaped by the curse he had awakened. Every house door creaked open, figures spilling out, dragging their feet, their mouths unhinged wider than any human jaw. Their whispers turned into screams. Ethan tried to scream too, but his voice was gone. His flashlight shattered, leaving him in complete darkness. The last thing he saw was the moon being devoured by shadows above him. The recorder, dropped on the ground, continued to capture everything, his footsteps, his heavy breathing, and finally his desperate sobbing, before silence. Days later, hikers found the recorder near Hollow Creek. But when they played it back, they didn't just hear Ethan's last moments, they heard new whispers. And the whispers spoke their names,